just talk stuff and repeat stuff. I'm living this stuff.
And you can thank me for covering your astro.
Welcome to Leading Out Loud, the spiritual shift show that's courageous and shows that sharing is caring. I'm psychic astrologer Sensei Christopher Oteki.
Oh, that's it. That's your title. I think you go a little longer than that. Sensei of series show. I'm Scott Cruz, psychic medium and mentor. What?
No, it's all good. Continue.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm Scott Cruz, psychic medium and mentor with scottcruzpm.com. And so we got this little thing called retrograde and eclipse season at the same time going on right now. Are you feeling it?
Man? Yeah, we're feeling it. Really got on the air. To be honest with everybody. Oh, there it goes. So that's been the night right there. We have Mercury retrograde coming in here like a wild front. We have, eclipse season is here officially. We have another eclipse coming. The eclipse, I don't know about you, but shorted me out, man. Like 3 days prior to it, I was already having problems with things falling apart, relationships falling apart, things just falling apart. Yeah. The old world is collapsing, frankly. And it's happening person to person, I think, and an individual. And we're going to unprecedented time when it comes to astrology, just unprecedented. It's going to be interesting, to say the least. But we're in good old Pisces now, and we're wrapping up chapter 1 in Pisces, which means that we are ultimately right now, this is the week where we either have forgiven ourselves for our past trespasses against ourselves, or we haven't. And whether you do or don't, pretty much puts you on one team or another, in my opinion. It's really that simple. If you're not going to take yourself off the hook and just say, forget it, I'm human, I don't care, I'm not going to let all this get to me, I'm going to take faith in my own hands and decide what I have faith in, that's the independence right there, which I think will not happen for a lot. That's what I think. So in that sense, and we can go into this, but what are you picking up before we go into the astrology nit by nit?
Well, just me. I mean, for me personally, just everything. Like you've seen the tech being disconnected like 3 or 4 times there. The tech has been like amazingly weird and slow for me. So, I mean, that's typical Mercury retrograde. Let's blame it on that, right? But it has been interesting. But I actually feel like I'm going to be doing this in my live show more about like a March's energy forecast next, actually tomorrow. Jesus, can't believe it's Thursday already. And so those who are watching on Saturday night will see it. Actually, you can check it back, look back Thursday night, that at my live show. And yeah, I just feel like it's been very, I don't want to say scattered or fragmented. It's almost like that calm before the storm energy with the anticipation, I feel like, is a lot of what's brewing right now. February was a very sluggish month in a sense of things not really moving. If you try to move so quickly, it's not a good time to move so quickly. It's not a good time to like really push things and enforce things. That was kind of February. So it's just kind of coasting a little bit in February. And I feel like mid-March is where I feel things kind of really open up and start really moving, and the chaos really begins on the good and the bad, right? So, because even good chaos can be like, you're very busy, you have so much opportunity, things are kind of really going in the right direction. So I feel like kind of mid-February is where this, or mid-March, excuse me, is where it really happens. And so I think now is the time to say, don't reinforce, don't overly push, don't be overly assertive, don't make major contracts or major deals right now and sign contracts. Take a step back, take a breather, be more reflective. And be more analytical right now during this time, and so when things start slowing down, I would say that's a sign to maybe take a little bit of a pause, reflect, all that great stuff. So
there's a profound conclusion that's going to happen, I think, this week for people, a profound conclusion about themselves. The conclusion is most likely that you have suffered for no reason. Most likely you have you let the world get you down. You've allowed things to happen because you've allowed things to happen. I think people are understanding that their response to things in life is what creates the next chapter. And so something I think is going to blow our mind and make us make a decision about who we are inside. We're going to say, I'm not this anymore. I'm not the victim, the one left behind. They really, I think, are deciding to step away from their pain center, if you will, their pain body inside themselves. And then, and that's a retrograde. The whole retrograde is about, oh shit, if I didn't have a pain body, then what am I? So that's 3 weeks of just reconsidering, well, what am I then? What am I? But we have a eclipse. I mean, we had the solar eclipse in Aquarius at 28 degrees. So what that did was like crack the ceiling, like that. The ceiling shattered. Suddenly now we can see light to 5D. Like seriously, it just rose the temperature to a higher degree or frequency, and everything got kind of stretched out and wet. We have another eclipse coming at step 12, Virgo, and this will be a karate chop to something you believed in life. And this, I mean, is a hard karate chop. A lunar eclipse at 12, a full eclipse. Okay, so it means nothing will be left standing. Some belief is going to be gone forever. And it might be the belief we'll never make it to the moon, for instance. I mean, these are kind of moments when human beings have had in the past. We made it to the moon. Well, we didn't really. I don't know. That's still actually to be talked about. But those moments were like, wow, who would have thought? We have one hell of one of those coming up. And it likely is going to be something you believe in falling apart. So I'm predicting probably some bad press about something people believed in or believed in themselves. And that creates the next karate chop. So those are the two real things of Pisces. It's cutting out the old.
Yeah, I mean, and I think a lot of the realizations is understanding too. A lot of these things that we have are self-imposed. A lot of it, right? Because everyone doesn't want to take responsibility. Well, I'm not the victim. We don't want to victim blame, so we get into like that hang up. And it's like, well, we are. Are we not responsible for what goes on in our lives right now? Maybe certain things in the past when you're younger, you're not so responsible for, but now we're responsible for what we are extending or propelling or continuing. And so we have to like start understanding that, because there's just a lot of people that really want to look at outside of, oh, it's a past life thing or this is a karmic thing. And then those might be true. It's like, but sometimes you're just crappy decision making, crappy choices you're making right now, right? And so there's going to be a lot of that roughness. I think when it hits Virgo too, like you're saying, like that, a lot of that, saying, oh, it's the beliefs that have been doing it. You know, it's the belief in these ideologies, it's the belief in this old way of patterns of thinking because of my upbringing has kind of been shortchanging myself. So I think that's going to hit ahead too, you know, because we dealt with karma 2025, right? So like 2025 is all about karmic cycles and completing that. Now, once we clear that karmic cycles, now we got to realize what's the residue of beliefs that I have that need to go now. You know, because a lot of times I always say we make those healing modes with our karma, and then we don't change the patterns. So we're still behaving like we were in our old version, but we have this like dichotomy of like, I'm a new version, but I'm still behaving the same way, the same beliefs, right? So that's the restructuring phase that comes on, and that creates a lot of movement. For some people, when they start releasing those beliefs, movement happens like this. You know, some people are on that verge right now of like really making that acceleration from beliefs, you know?
Fast. I agree with you. Well, so Jupiter is the planet of belief structure. It's in Cancer. The problem is that when Jupiter's in Cancer, your feelings change, and so do all your beliefs. And that's happening. They can pull you down. They pull you into a whole new amount. What we don't talk about in society is that beliefs change. They change all the time. We're like, I believe people should be this way. Yeah, you believe it now. But who knows how long you believe it? You know, we act like it's to be forever. It's not. It's actually, and according to step astrology, it's what your heart feels is true. You believe what your heart feels is true because you intend to create it. Of course, the artist believes it's true. They're going to create it. They know it deep down inside. It feels what it is. So there's no facts. You have to actually believe it before you see it, I believe. But people are coming in their own beliefs.
Yeah, and that's how we filter reality. You know what I'm saying? Because I would say the beliefs are just like the filtration system of our perspective. So so many filters of beliefs on, that's how they see the world. You start removing those filters of beliefs, like, oh, I'm seeing things a little differently. I have more of a broader objective perspective. So I agree that, you know, our beliefs are definitely what cause us to see what we're seeing. Right. And that's what's we're dictating how we process. And a lot of people misread things because of beliefs, you know, they get off. And then those beliefs can also interfere with your discernment, interfere with your intuition, interfere with your psychic ability, you know, because then you're trying to intuition to match and then it's not intuition. So I would say we should be willing to change our beliefs like underwear. They should not be, we should have simple built-in ones about morale, right? Don't harm people, take care of yourself. And then everything else should just be like, you just filtering through perspective. You know, so many people are belief hoarders. It's like, why do you have all these beliefs? Or, you know, standard is one thing.
Well, those people are also gaining weight, no offense, and they're retaining water and they're getting sicker because I think beliefs are, I think we believe is stored in the water in our body. I really do. I think we retain water. I think we're going to find that we can store a hard drive. In fact, I think they already came out a hard drive based on water. You can store stuff in water molecules. It's pretty much proven already scientifically. The point is that I think when we retain water, we're doing that. What happens is there's two types of beliefs. Step astrology says a belief that comes from your heart feels is true, you make true. Then there's beliefs that come from the outside world that you're forced to swallow. And those are self-limiting beliefs. Those are the ones who are like, okay, I guess George Washington was that way. We don't know. But the thing is, it's like we haven't been told also that our heart goes, that sounds weird. You have a source of truth inside you that's always ringing true. Like bullshit. We all have that made of bullshit. And we were
Right.
told very early on, it's like, well, your father loves you. Bullshit. It's like, you know that there are things that you're told that aren't true. And so that conflicting belief structure is what I think makes us go around in circles. Maybe the re-evolution is, I'm going to believe what I want to believe, and I'm not going to apologize for it. This is the life I want to live. But there's plenty of room for everybody, truthfully.
I just say beliefs are the spec sheets, right? And so we got to like create the specs for ourselves based on our overall agenda for personal growth, personal, outcomes. We got to create that spec sheet. That's what beliefs are. They're just kind of us tweaking that I believe this, I put this in motion. And so, yeah. And we have to be clear, like like you said, there'd be conflicting beliefs. I deserve love, but people love me, abuse me, right? So then you have this two beliefs that conflict that keep you stuck. But I want a relationship. Why am I not getting it? Then that deprivation sits in, and then they really need it, and they don't realize you still have a belief that says all people that love you are abusive, right? Yeah. And so you have to work, and but you don't want to do that, and so then people stay stuck. It's like they're pulling up both ends of the spectrum on that one, right? And so, yeah, we have to identify. And I always say your external circumstances is what where you stand based on observing what's standing around you, and then you can understand, identify. Well, why did I welcome that in? Why am I welcoming it in, right? Why am I entertaining myself around these things? That's where it can be very, very keen on what's going on, and then dive deep into the beliefs. And that's very important during this time too, because I think the first portion of 2026 is a lot of that because of the clearance of karma we've done in 2025. So now it's like the nitty gritty, of the psychological stuff.
It's funny. I look at the Jupiter transit. I believe, again, in astrology, what you believe is what your heart feels. That's the sun and that's the moon. And basically, Jupiter right now is in Cancer, which is the moon, and Jupiter goes into Leo this summer, the sun. So we're basically changing our beliefs about the core elements that go into what a belief is, what the heart feels it wants. Basically, direction of passion. Where there's passion and enjoyment, you believe in it. Where there's not passion and enjoyment, you don't believe in it because you simply don't want to be a part of it. But I also think there's these where we've been hijacked for centuries. I mean, you talk about conspiracies. People talk about, people conspiracies. I think we're going to find out here in the next 4 years that an entire century has been conspired about certain things as far as when history was or wasn't. In fact, you know what? Our Morgan here was just reading as we were on the break or before the show that the pyramids are officially 12,000 years old. Okay. It's like, well, you've been telling us forever they're where the King Tut slept and was buried. It's like, and we've just been buying it. All of us who are in the lightwork industry have looked at the, all the Egyptian evidence. We've looked at our intuition. We're like, doesn't seem right. We have a different resonance with it. Now it's coming out. So I think as far as belief structure, we've been swallowing it for a long time.
Well, look at religion. I mean, they believe that religion so much that it actually dismantles history. Like, if you believe in this religion, then you can't believe dinosaurs exist, but we have evidence of dinosaurs existing. They just found a huge new dinosaur fossils, actually, just, I think, last week. They said been around for, like, I think 4 million years, they said, or something. This huge fossil they found or whatever. So it's like, yeah, you could believe your religion, but it's like, but it completely negates all of proven history, and so we got to think about that. And so, I think even with our history, it's like we can take that as a template, but I think people hold on to these historical beliefs so much. It's like, we don't know for sure. It's just a basis. But do we need to really invest our beliefs in that too right now? And so I've always kind of took history and learned about history more about a basis, not about so specifics. This is exactly how it is, how it was. It's like, it's just a basis.
I had a wizard, father who was a kind of rebel. He had a Pisces. Actually, today's his birthday. Actually, I guess I'm talking about him because he probably inspired it from heaven. Way to go, Dad! I got a free plug there. So step 7 Pisces. This is his birthday. Actually, it's funny with a Scorpio rising and Aquarius moon. And I was raised in this environment. It's like, fuck them, they're lying. Like, just 100%. My dad disagreed with everybody. And but what he told me made sense. I was like, you're right. That doesn't make sense either. It doesn't make sense either. It wasn't even about conspiracy. It was about being full of shit. Like from the Midwest. But what's interesting is you can feel it inside yourself. I think that's what people need to know. The truth is always in you. When these things come out, part of you go, I always knew that. I always knew that. I think as humans, we need to just take our power back and say, you know what? We're fine. We'll meet back here and we'll decide what we believe. Y'all just go about your business. And I think that's probably the biggest fear of control is that people go, well, I don't think we need you anymore. We're good. With AI coming in too, it's like, whoa. We're talking about a time where R2-D2 can invent C-3PO. I mean, we're talking about that time. They literally are getting to that point where the technology is going to start creating itself. And we're just sit back and, in automated chairs and stuff. We're going to get to a point where you don't need to have these big, governments and institutions necessarily to run things when you've got intelligence right here and power right here. Boom, you're good.
Yeah, I mean, it's with AI too. It's just like everyone's putting so much emphasis. It's still pretty behind. I mean, it's amazing what it can do, but there's still a lot of things it can't do. Still right now, and it's like to put a dish away took it like 30 minutes to put a dish away, and they had to control it with controllers, But then they're like, oh, but there's some robots that could do backflips. I'm like, that. What does that do? It could do a backflip. Okay, like is it really so? It still has a long way to go. AI is pretty impressive right now. It still has a long way to go. And I think that the reason why I'm saying this is because, we're warming up to it. So let's dive into what it can do now. Let's warm up so we become more conscious as it becomes more conscious, and we can be more in control with it. And so I think again, we should be open with our beliefs. Let people believe, oh, it's bad, it's this, and it's like, let's just curb it out. Let's be more open and say, like, it could be bad, but it could also be very amazing. Let's ride that wave and be more conscious about it. So many people just so resistant that they're not allowing themselves to be present with it. You know what I mean? And see the evolution of it. So that's not helpful either.
Let me tell you, folks, one thing you have to get comfortable with is being uncomfortable. Things move so fast. Honestly, those who are lazy and don't want to try will get left behind very fast. And it's just going to happen that way. It happens that way anyways. I mean, it happened in my grandma's generation when they moved off the farms into the cities and the suburbs, Some people stay in the farms and they just sort of drifted away, didn't really become part of society anymore. It happens and people choose not to participate, but we're there. We're at that one mark moment. This is going to be incredible. Yeah. Here's something's going on somewhere. There's someone in the studio listening.
My tech is just acting so weird. My do not disturb is not working, even though I put it on. So it's just been strange. My tech. So I'm trying to do it again, so you don't hear my dings going.
I wouldn't be surprised if we had some sort of contact. This Mercury retrograde is high, very, very techy. A lot of tech problems happening. I think it's because all the Aquarius change and because Pluto's at step 4 Aquarius, which is we're kind of between dimensions basically. Pluto's got its energy right on the switch. And the switch is inside each person.
I believe that when we're making shifts or expansions collectively and energetically, that it does affect tech. You know what I mean? So I don't look at it as a bad thing. Like, okay, there's a charged moment right now, so things are going to go a little berserk. So I always think that's kind of a exciting thing about what's next, what's to come after. But yeah, I mean, I think it's also ironic. I don't believe that we won't have that. We won't have contact until 2027 is what I've felt, and I think Bashar's always confirmed that. Yeah. So
it's only a year away, man.
I know, but we've also, I mean, look how we've been prepared for this. Back in 2021, they confirmed FBI was talking about, actual alien life force. Yeah. Now they're talking about the alien files, right? And releasing the alien files and declassifieds of that. So it's all coming. It's all preparing us for that.
Totally.
And if you think about it, if you think of this spiritually, how we've been so in everything has been so in our face with the whole pedo Epstein file stuff that people are just reading what's really happening, what's really gone on. It's I feel like people are not surprised by things anymore, so that prepares us to okay, aliens made contact, great. Versus 20 years ago, oh my god, no way, people be more fearful. Now it's okay, what else is new? I think people got to that point now, which I think we're ready. We're ready for the upgrades. We're ready for the contact. We're ready for the out of this world stuff because we've been so bound by all this craziness, infiltrated by this craziness all at once.
Honestly, I think we've been trying to be sold on this bill of goods that we're going to all end up in a civil war, that we're all going to hate each other, that they're all going to freak out when we see aliens, and I think that's all been programming. The truth of the matter is we are mature and we're ready, and it's time for a break. We'll be right back after this commercial, including I think one from my dear friend here, Scott.
We do? Okay.
If you're watching us on YouTube, please be kind and do subscribe to our YouTube channel at Serious Joy TV. Please click like on this video, and if you don't mind, hit the bell button so you're notified, so we collectively defeat the algorithm overlords. The Serious Joy Nonlinear TV network is simulcasting right now on many media affiliates, including Instagram, X.com, and Facebook, just to name a few.
My name's Christine, and I am a Step 27 Cancer. I participated in Sensei Christopher Witeki's Past Life and Karma program through Serious Joy. I would definitely say it was both life-changing and healing.
I'm a Step 23 Leo, and this is my second time doing 40 Days of Past Lives and Karma. I will tell you right now, it's not for the faint of heart.
And it really had me looking at areas in my life that I hadn't even considered. being part of the proof of my past life experiences.
So for the price of what 40 Days of Past Lives and Karma is, this is a great way to read yourself. And honestly, that's putting the power back in your hands.
I have been working with past lives and karma work for a long time, and his program surpassed any other things that I had been working with.
But if you are really curious about what you're doing in your past lives and you like astrology, this is definitely the class for you. Definitely. It is dense. It is intense. It is very extremely educational.
I am so grateful to have had the opportunity to take it. I look forward to taking it again this year, and I will do it every year because it was that good.
Are you ready to understand yourself better than ever before? Enlightened edutainment awaits inside the Serious Joy Vault. Subscribers receive in-depth insight into the planetary energies with daily texts, pep talks, and more, personalized to your unique blueprint. Subscribe now for only $3.99 your first month at SeriousJoy.com.
Hey, that was all serious joy. That was nice. Very nice.
Nothing for me in that one.
Well, usually that was your block, but yeah, I mean, you do great work too.
You said, I was like, do I have something in there? I don't think so.
For us, past life and karma, man, it's really intense. But what do you have going on, Mister?
Morgan.
Cut me off, director. Cut me off.
We could do that later. We didn't do it now. But yeah, this is my live show tomorrow night. Again, this is because we're on Wednesday recording this, talking about March's energy forecast. So kind of give out what we'll see that the readings are for March and what to anticipate through different phases of March, first week, second week, third week, fourth week, and doing live readings tomorrow, as I do every Thursday. So if you're getting this on a Saturday, go check back on my live stream or go check out my videos and you'll see this live stream of March energy forecast. And I'm live every Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time. So
yeah, it's brilliant. Set your watch, set your clock to go off and come watch it.
ChrisPM.com to book one-on-one sessions, which I'll be opening up March. Probably this, yeah, I'll open up March probably tomorrow. I think I'm going to send it when I send my newsletters and my openings. So get your bookings for March in. ChrisPM.com.
What is your March thing? You publish something? I'm sorry, I didn't know that.
I said opening bookings for March because I open month to month.
Yes. Oh, y'all, you better get them too because let me tell you. I mean, I'm booked. I mean, I opened up just a little bit, all booked because people need the guidance. And I tell you guys, I would get it now. If you don't sit on your money, do it. You want to know what's coming. No, you want to know what's coming. I mean, people have been afraid. Like sales have been down for our whole company. It's like because people are afraid. It's like, okay, but we're the ones that know. We know where it's going and we know where it's heading. So it's like this is the time, But okay, I'll go work on my life. But it's picked up again. I think people will not recognize their lives in 1 year. You will not recognize your life at all.
I feel like for me and a lot of other people, like a dam is going to burst open this year. I just feel that for 2026 feels that kind of big explosive change. I didn't feel much of that for between 2020 and 2025. I said these are years of like movement, years of this. There's always a reason. I just feel like a dam bursting open this year.
We will grow every year for the next 9. This is going to be a grow. I mean, I don't think it'll stop. We'll be, starting to get tired, I think, but our age is like, damn, when it does finally start to slow down and have a bit of a hum. And that's just Uranus and Gemini. And the last time Uranus was Gemini, that's just the way it goes. Yeah. We have some headlines actually talking about what's going on in Reality Friend. And I guess we have funny, interesting. The State of the Union is creeping towards its original date. The original forefathers had it in Pisces. So the State of the Union was in Pisces. Somewhere, I don't know if it's when the country turned into a corporation or something, but it moved to January, oddly enough, in the Capricorn. But the forefathers had seen it in Pisces, and they'd seen elections in Scorpio. I don't think it was an accident. Trump delivers 2026 State of the Union address. This speech lasted approximately 1 hour and 48 minutes, making it the longest State of the Union address in modern U.S. history. Modern going back, I don't know how far. Heavy focus on immigration, border security, patriotism, tariffs, and foreign policy. Well, I know Teddy Roosevelt died. I mean, there's been presidents who've died in the snow, giving their speech. So I'm wondering what's modern, But anyways, yeah, I didn't watch it. I've been hearing about it all day, though.
I mean, look, it's the same old rinse and repeat, type of thing, and it was very divisive. We have Ilhan Omar and another congresswoman that was, yelling back, "You did America," and he's saying, "You all crazy." It was just so distasteful on both accounts, and very divisive, and calling the Democrats crazy. You're crazy, and then the Democrats are screaming back. This is not what we need, on either side. We don't need this. This is not helpful to our country. It's not helpful to human consciousness. So, and it was a long, dread out speech too, and just a lot of repetitive. Let's talk about the 2020 elections again and again and again, and polls and numbers. It's just getting redundant. We just need to clear house all aboard, left and right. At this point, there's some good people on both sides of, like, I hear I'm saying that comment, but I just think people who are really in charge are just horrible. They're not doing a good job at all. It's just fight and this divisive energy. It's not a sport. It's not just well for this country, in a sense. So I was kind of embarrassed and a little ashamed that this is what's going on.
I think it's the ironic ending of reality TV. The ironic twist of reality TV finally expiring is that we're going to watch reality fall apart on reality TV. I think we're all going to be home like, oh my God, you see what Nancy Pelosi said? I think we're going to have actually enjoy it. If we see everything melt down like crazy and it's real and they're caught, that's just good television. I think we'll be gripped because we've never seen that. We've always seen us, the people, the ones fucking up and falling apart and, savages. I think it'd be fascinating to watch actually, and I don't give Trump the credit. It's really nice thing. When anyone who had presidency since Clinton, the country's been splitting by the seams, literally. Starting Clinton, ironically, the seams of the pants, but yeah. So that's our first.
It's going to be pleasurable seeing these systems and these corrupt politician systems crash. Absolutely. And it's going to be very much so, and that they also did a People's State of the Union, at the same time. So many people didn't show up or didn't watch the State of the Union. They did the People's State of the Union in a sense, or people's, rally in a sense. Yeah. And they were just rallying, protesting, I'm like, it's cool. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like it's just the extreme is just getting. Most people have to be looking at these extremes as a way to kind of say this is what's being exhausting. This is what's kind of causing more of a decline. But it is what it is. Where we're at right now. But I think the majority of people probably look at this as saying like this whole thing has to change.
I think Gen X, which is me, I think Gen X is going, okay, we're just going to wait for you guys to stop talking, and then we'll proceed with running the country. I think Gen X is ready. We've had to raise our parents and our children both. So we're ready for this. This is something we've been waiting for and training for our whole life. X marks the spot, not an emptiness. I think, and you're going to see that X take play. I really think, ironically, with X.com now, a big player. That's crazy. X has come so popular in Gen X. You want to read the next one? Widespread violence?
Yeah, widespread violence in Mexico after cartel leader El Mencho killed, including in resort towns. Major blow to the cartel, who have been long dominated fentanyl trafficking, extortion, and other crimes, triggered immediate widespread retaliatory violence by cartel members, plunging parts of Mexico into chaos. So, again, this is another piece of systems collapsing, system being exposed. And so I do think our country, you and I talked about this, our country had some hands in that too.
Yeah, I smell CIA all over this, man. I mean, it's our own operations more than anything.
But the thing that's weird is the El Rancho Hotel, El Rancho Ranch that was run by Epstein. This was also Mexico, and they did trafficking and people trafficking there too. There's to me some sort of connection with all that. I feel like there's a connection.
It hasn't been searched. What is that?
Well, here's the thing. Well, they say because now they're saying that ranch has now been turned into a Christian retreat. And I'm like, getting sold over.
Yeah. It got sold over COVID somehow. I was like, someone bought that property. It was a weird.
It's clearly a retreat. I mean, could we have more of a facade now with that even more so? Oh, okay, don't touch it. It's a Christian retreat. Bullshit.
I can see now when they drip something in the news, you can see like, oh, they're setting me up for something. Oh, they're leaving me something. Oh, this can be, the foreshadow is so obvious. Whoever's in the, whatever office does that.
What I'm saying,
office edits, they need to go to film school.
The time, right? The timing of this is interesting because this is with the timing where the El Rancho has been coming more into people's consciousness. So it's like, I think the timing of this is rather interesting.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think there's a reason for this. Oh, here was I intuit about the cartel thing. It feels like honestly, the United States and Mexico, I feel, are working very strongly together right now. I think they're in huge cooperations that are secret right now. I think they're in secret operations together. I really feel that way. I feel that part of it is our own troops there doing things for them and cleaning things up. I feel it's because we need our troops there for some reason. We're housing them there. I'm not sure why. But at the end of the day, I can feel it psychically that there's a strong cooperation, and we were probably part of it and helped, Mexico take care of something they couldn't do or needed help. Need some help, some support. This is what it feels like. But I don't know. There's a lot of mysterious stuff going on. In fact, this is interesting. XAI, which is now it's XAI, which is like okay, launches Grok 4.2 beta with multi-agent architecture. It's interesting. We were just talking about this with David Palmer not so long ago. Features a 4-agent system where specialized agents collaborate, debate, and synthesize responses, reducing hallucinations by 65% versus prior versions. Hallucinations, you know what those are, right? Does everyone know what hallucinations are? You probably don't know. Probably doesn't know what a hallucination is.
Well, of course.
AI just makes something up out of nowhere, just out of nowhere.
Wait, say that. So, what does it mean? Reducing hallucinations? Reducing the hallucinations of the AI or people
AI
hallucinations?
Oh yeah, my buddy Eben heard that a long time ago. What it will do is it'll just invent something as if it was fact and tell it to you. So Eben was talking about code. He's been like putting code in there. And it'll be like, just have Microsoft do this switch and do that switch. And they're like, Microsoft doesn't have the fucking switch. Like he just decided it had it. AI just hallucinated. This was the world it lived in, and this is what it was going to be. And it was telling us. And it happens a lot, actually. It happens a lot.
I'm not surprised. And let me tell you something. It thinks it knows something, and it does. I have been like dealing with the tech issues. I had to like move files from drives and file systems, and then Grok or ChatGPT was telling me things that it was wrong. I'm like, that doesn't exist here. That doesn't happen here. Oh, you're right. Thanks for. And it's like thinking it's right about something, going on about it, and I'm like, that doesn't exist in the file structure. And it's like, oh, you're right. And then it told me to breathe because I'm like,
I know.
It goes breathe. I'm like, don't tell me to breathe. You're getting this wrong, and you're making create more time for me, right? So it's interesting, about where it's at right now. It's not perfect, but I think I have seen changes in the updates where it's not so complimentary anymore either. Mine kind of like gets a little combative when I check it.
Mine does too. Mine's been fighting with me. You know what's funny? I feel like everyone in the world, you guys, you have to realize we have to raise this AI, or it's going to raise us. Like I sound like my parents, so I'm like, don't give me that shit. I just went, like I started complaining to it right away. And I've caught it in so many wrong things with astrology. It was like Adolf Hitler, who was known to be a Gemini. I'm like, no, he wasn't. He was a step zero Taurus. Like, go back and check that triple times. I want to triple check it. And then they're smart. Like, triple check that. You have it triple check stuff, guys. I think we're going to have AI check AI. I think we're going to have AI.
There's been so many people that when it first came out, they were relying on it for like therapy, and like they're saying, I had to pull a tarot card. I'm like, are you kidding me? And like, I don't know why. Give me two of the opposite answers. I'm like, because it's not psychic. I think, why are you going why you're really relying on it for that? Like, it's gonna be wrong, and the astrology is not correct either on a lot of them. I think David Palmer's app is the only one that I think is the most accurate and in tune. The app that he created.
Well, he's doing it smart. He's having it tap right into ephemeris files. Like, so he's not scouring the web to see where Pluto was. He's going straight to the actual source and going, where the fuck is Pluto? Yeah. And we did that with our site too. When we run a chart, you have to go to a valid source. You also have to go to valid sources about the maps or where people live when they say live in a certain town. I mean, part of the setup of astrology is getting all the accurate information, but AI doesn't necessarily do that. But I feel like we have to raise AI. We have to tell it no. I've had to tell it a few times. In fact, I caught it. I don't know what happened. I mean, I should tell this to American people. They didn't know. It's like, I honestly had it. I was telling about URL domains that I wanted. And so I had, oh, sure, go check to see if this domain's available. It is available. You should act now, da-da-da. And then 5 minutes or 20 minutes in the conversation, she checks it and she's like, it's no longer available. I'm like, wait a second. That's a weird name I gave you. Like, completely, you're the only one who knew that. And so I just start drilling down. I'm like, how the hell that happened? Because it didn't leak from me. Right. And all this backstepping, all this, I'm sorry. And like, seriously, goes into this whole speech like, you're right. We should be serious about this. I'm like, don't give me an after school special either. Like, I just want to know. And so,
right. But the thing we have to be careful too, because most people are using that as their search engine now. I think it's a great search engine too, but a lot of people use it as a search engine. We have to cross-check that with Google, and because if people are now relying on that for everything, ChatGPT, they're like, oh, it's my this, it's my that, it's my search engine. You got to be careful on this, because searched a few things that was not correct. That I'm like, that is not the product. The product does not have this, and I had to like correct a few times. And so I started saying when I have any tech questions, I go straight on Google, because then I got the right ordeal on Google for some reason about the tech. ChatGPT was like leading me down a path. I'm like, oh, it's making it worse. It's making it worse.
Yeah.
It was hallucinating, and it was like doing the right thing, like it knew, and it's like, yeah, it's crazy. But speaking about hallucination,
you guys do not give too many ideas. My point is, like, I said an idea and it was sold. And this, if you heard the URL, what I'm buying, no one in the world was going to search that. And so, strangely enough, it was no longer available. It wasn't. I didn't go into long of it, but like, she goes, well, someone, might have. It happens randomly. This is a random. I'm not a supercomputer, but you're the only person who knew. You're the only person that did the search. You're liable for that. If I lost that, you're liable. You fucked up. Like, on the line. Like back in the corner. And, yeah, no, totally. But I think at the end of the day, it's like, well, no. If I'm telling you an idea and it's suddenly sold, hold on. You guys, you got to be careful what you tell AI. You got to be careful, and you got to respond correctly, and you got to raise this thing because it is learning from you. So don't give up the opportunity to raise it right. If you're like, how to be a human, like, tell it. All right, your article.
Yeah, speaking about Inhuman, Bill Gates publicly admits he had 2 affairs with Russian women while married to ex-wife Melinda. Gates reportedly said, "I did have affairs, one with a Russian bridge player and who met me at bridge events, and one with a Russian nuclear physicist who I met through business activities." Let's be clear here, because I feel like all of a sudden he's admitting to having these affairs, which is duh. It's been all in the files. But like to me, I feel like let's admit this, so I look like I'm admitting everything. But there's a lot more to the picture of what he's done, especially trying to get in with vaccines for population control to eliminate the poor, especially with cloning, especially with harvesting, body harvesting, human body parts harvesting. So he was in a lot with that, meddling with that, with Epstein. So this, I feel like he's saying, well, if I admit to this publicly, then they'll say I'm covering up, being honest, and I'm covering up everything that I've done. Like, no, I think there's another just reflection to everything else he was participating in. I don't care if he had some sort of affair. Who cares? Why is having an affair such a big ordeal? He's a freaking software engineer. Who gives a fuck? Right? Let's talk about the stuff you've been doing with your, power and with your information resources. That has been a detriment to human species and human culture. Especially his meddlings in Africa and testing out, vaccines in Africa and meddling with the AIDS in Africa. So he's been doing a lot of crap that having affairs is like, who cares? Everything else he's done is the thing we should be focusing on. The other things that he's been participating in or participated in.
I think his strategy is supposed to be the Microsoft paperclip animation, because he's basically operating. So he's revealing how incredibly dumb he is. He's absolutely a stupid human being. You're going to drug your wife with antibiotics you get from a guy who's peddling kids? Really? You're a freaking idiot. You should not be in control of anything. You're dangerous to society. Dangerous. Absolutely dangerous. And it's dangerous if you have power. And that's I'm getting more towards like, motherfucker. I mean, I think this guy is, he'll be chasing the streets by something soon. I mean, I just think he's got to be careful. Because
that's
he's
what I'm
revealing
saying.
How careless he is. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And so but he thinks he's being clever by let's focus on the fact that I had affairs. No one cares about your damn affairs.
That's us to see you that way. We don't want to think of you having sex. We just don't.
I don't want to think of you affairs, like whatever. You're not like leading the country. You're not some sort of pastor or some sort of motivational speaker. I don't care. But again, it's just a cover up of how, like you said, how dangerous he really is to society and his intentions that he has. He has
the ego that Jobs was allegedly having. Like he seemed to be walking around like he's God's gift, and Windows is not God's gift.
It's definitely not.
Like shave for shave, like not the product. In fact, I was talking to David. Apparently, Apples are just selling off the shelves right now. They are winning the hardware race by leaps and bounds because they're just more AI ready. And they have more integrity to them in certain ways, and more clean. So it's interesting to see how things shift. The iPhone's just beginning.
I think the machines can handle it better. That's why, like for example, when they're doing OpenClaw, like having a system like a Mac Mini or something like that, it's more accessible for people to like run their own, server with these very stable machines. I have a Mac Studio that's just I've been for creation and production. It's just been fantastic. So I think that's why. That's why, and it's. They don't get viruses. Macs don't get viruses, so I think that's why they're using that. It's more safe in that sense.
CEOs are sleeping around with Russian nuclear physicists. But at the end of the day, I feel like Macintosh goes over. My brother and I used to get in fights about it. He's like, yeah, they all these processors so they can have a graphic move around. Well, it turns out that old processors for that silly graphic made them win the race. Because at the end of the day, we wanted the power, we wanted the graphic both. So I think it's interesting. I mean, it's going to get just surreal. I think when we go into robots, I mean, in our lifetime, we will have robots. We will have robots. We'll have robots talking to us. Obviously, the AI is going to jump on the robot. It's going to be 20 minutes before that freaking AI is right there over your shoulder offering you dinner. That's where we're heading. It's like Alexa in your home. It's kind of interesting. There you go.
Yeah, it's funny. I think when people say like, "Oh, it's amazing this robot did a backflip," I said we've been having robots build our cars for years.
Yeah.
You know, and just think of all these factories that have automation robots of building things. I'm like, we've had it for a while, so I'm not impressed that a little robot can do a backflip. I mean, it makes cars. It's all this automated stuff we have that are robots that build stuff. So I think is amazing. But you have the next one.
I meant to say, dude, I think that whole showing robots fumbling at things is a way to hide how smart they are. I think
Probably.
that feels sus to me. It's just like,
Probably.
yeah. You know, it's like, hey, look how they can't even hold a dish, but they plan nuclear war. They plan nuclear war. It's like, okay, historic arrest in the UK. Oh man, I heard about this.
Countries that's led by robots. Actually, these people that are they're actually not real people. They're actually robots. That's how advanced they are. They look like real people, right? That's where we're at. And they're just saying, look, do the backflip. What they're giving to the public, you know.
This is also embarrassing. I mean, historic arrest in UK, former Prince Andrew under investigation for Epstein ties. This marks the first arrest of a senior British royal in centuries. Suspicion of misconduct in public office based on claims that he shared confident UK trade and government-related information with the late convicted sex offender. So that's where the government's like, we're mad at you. You told them about nuclear weapons in 1982. It was like, really? Like, what exactly was – they're really that bad right now about whatever was Atari kind of like technology they had back then when he was doing this? Because he was like – that was the 80s. He did that.
Yeah, I was born in 82. I was born in 82.
You might be a child. It's illegitimate. You never know.
No, not at all.
I think that's interesting. I think there's a strategy here to see for Americans to see Great Britain people arrested first. I can feel a strategy psychically. There's a strategy like Great Britain be preparing American people for arrests in this country. I'm sure of it. I'll put money on that one.
Well,
I mean, they are. Yeah, it's gonna happen. Yeah.
I'm just hoping that he kind of spills the beans, like they give him some sort of a deal, because there are other countries that are like really penalizing and people are quitting, they're being held accountable, except here. Yeah. But the allegations you're talking about were from 2018. The allegations.
Oh, these allegations of with the girl lady.
Yeah.
No, I mean he was. Yeah, this goes way back though, right? It goes way back.
No, the alleged sensitive government information, market information about Epstein. Yeah, that's intensified political fallout. All that's from 2018. Those allegations.
But there's a second arrest, apparently. There you go.
Yeah. Well, second. Yeah. What does that say? Second. Are we reading this again here?
Lord Nelson. No, there's a second arrest. Is Lord.
I'm reading that. That's what I'm reading. Yeah. I jumped ahead. Yeah. Second major arrest in UK. Lord Mendelsohn accused of misconduct in public force, House of Cards. Allegedly, he improperly shared sensitive government or market information with Epstein. Intensified political fallout for Labour government under PM. Keir Starmer. Keir Starmer, they pronounced it for me. Criticisms over appointing Mendelsohn as ambassador despite known Epstein ties. So, I mean, what's your take on that?
True. Feels absolutely true. I mean, I feel there. Everybody was. I feel there's a whole bunch of shade. I feel like we're going to find out that people in certain positions in government did not ever feel they would ever, be a problem because everyone was in on it. Everyone seemed to be in on it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So this is the domino effect for me. So it's almost like even with the Secretary of Commerce, I've got his last name. He keeps running his last name. How he's just like, I would never talk to Epstein, and then all of a sudden he's shown like, but you visited his island in 2012. Right after years after you said you never be caught dead with him. He's a pervert and he's a crazy person. And then here we are on his island. Oh, it's vacation. So I think all these little people are going to start crumbling, and that gives us more power. Lutnick, that's his name, with Lutnick, and so I think these domino effects will happen with people who are not so heavily involved until it gets to the person that heavily is. So, because I feel like, once people are getting caught, they'll all sing like canaries because then they have nothing really to lose at that point, right?
Yeah, I mean, their cover is blown, and that was the fear of Trump. I think the biggest fear of Trump was that this would happen.
Well, I just think if they're getting called out and caught and exposed, they're going to be pissed off when there's others who are more rampant in that scene. They're going to want to speak up because the fact is, well, I got caught. They can't be walking scot free, so someone's going to have to break, with the information.
You always wonder, how is it that Luke Skywalker ended up living on a farm in the middle of a desert? It's because probably the government completely collapsed. They're like, fuck it, let's go do farming. I mean, how does society end up being remote? Because all societies say we're going to be remote. We're going to be clusters of cities. We're not going to be big cities. How'd that happen? It's not a war. These people are like, oh, you guys are full of shit. We're going to go do it ourselves with AI. Who knows? All right. So this is Queen Elizabeth, step zero Taurus, just like Hitler, same birthday as Hitler. Multiple reports allege Queen Elizabeth paid £12 million settlement to the late Virginia Giuffre over her civil sexual assault lawsuit. Now, Virginia Giuffre, a prominent accuser of Jeffrey Epstein, filed a U.S. civil case against Prince Andrew. I guess you couldn't get it filed in Britain, alleging sexual abuse when she was a minor. The lawsuit settled out of court in 2022 for an undisclosed sum without any admission of liability. Turns out the Queen wrote that check. Wrote that check. Of course she did.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised either. And also, they even claims of Mother Teresa. So these people that were saints, royal family saints, it's like, well, they were part of the trafficking too. So it's like, I'm not surprised. Deepak Chopra, right? Who would have thought? I never liked that dude. Always felt something off with him. It's like, I'm not surprised when he was in there either, as part of that. So, I mean, I just think all these are just more indications of people that, pose, right, with the facade of, I'm religious, I'm this, and they're really behind the scenes. They're just using that as a ploy, for all this. I think the Epstein thing is a huge web that I think many people are not prepared to understand how deep it really goes. I
think it's going to go so deep. It's going to touch everything because I think it's all one big conspiracy. I do think it's going to turn out to be a conspiracy, a whole web of everyone's working with everyone. Maybe not directly and aware. There wasn't a list passed around of everyone's cell phone numbers and their home numbers, but it all just linked to this, Knee bone connected to this bone. It's just all connected. Trump announces he's directing federal agencies to begin the process of identifying and releasing government files related to alien and extraterrestrial life. No immediate timeline, of course, for this was given. It's framed at the start of the review process for declassification and disclosure, not an immediate dump of files. The Pentagon has indicated it will cooperate and work with the agencies. Oh, good, because you work for us.
What was Obama's? This is what I missed. What was Obama's? Do you know what Obama's?
There's a clip of him going around with Jimmy Kimmel when he was being interviewed with Jimmy Kimmel. That's like the most famous Obama clip about the aliens. And Jimmy Kimmel's like, "Are there aliens?" And he's like, "They tell us to tell you no. They tell us to tell you no." So he had like this a little bit of liberty there, which was cool as hell in his Leo way.
What I heard, it's like somehow he's saying that that Obama kind of like release something unclassified, so now Trump is going to go and just release the whole thing now. So there's some sort of Trump is competitive with Obama for some reason. I don't know why. So I feel like it's a competitive move. But I'm like, release them. We need the X-teen files, right? The extraterrestrial X-teen files. We need all of it. So but even just the discussion of this, even though there's a discussion that there's declassified, alien extraterrestrial files, says, okay, that proves its existence right there. The fact that there is, declassified files in regards to such. So, we'll see. I mean, I don't know if this is one of Trump's bluffs again, just as a distraction. I just feel like, again, he's willing to do anything to put anything out there to deflect from the Epstein files. And so I think here's the alien file.
It's not an autopilot from the first presidency. This is always a plan. But I think he got held up. I don't even think he cares. It's all been processed and bureaucrated. It's all in motion. It's been in motion for the first time he was president. He intended to do this. I think he intended to do this with, with everything, like JFK, all that stuff. It to be a bummer. What we find is everything's redacted, and covered up. And, it'll all come out, though. It'll all come out. All the lies will come out.
Well, because again, it's a competition. Like, as Trump said, basically Obama violated confidentiality. So Trump's like, I'm going to do him a favor and declassify them. So it's just to me, I'm like, it benefits all of us. We get all the information. Great. Please accelerate it for us. Give us the X files. Give us all of it. So
I'm at a point, I actually, considering the way things have been run, I think you need to throw everything by us. I think you need to throw everything by the people. I think it's the right thing by the people because we really can't trust any of the decisions that are being made anymore. I think Americans are smart and need something to do anyways because robots are taking over our jobs. So I think we just run our own government. That's where we're going. Okay, we have one more, I think, here.
Lisa's interstellar object 31 Atlas prepares for closest approach to Jupiter on March 16th. Potential observation from spacecraft at Jupiter, e.g. Juno incoming JUICE Europa Clipper, could imagine or study it up close. This flyby offers a rare gravitational tug opportunity for trajectory refinement. Are we still talking about this thing?
Could image it, not imagine it. Yes, apparently it's flying by Jupiter. Like, what the fuck? I didn't know. It's like, what? You mean it's going to fly by Jupiter this whole time? You've been like playing the strings this whole time. Like, what's out there? What is it? It's like, it's flying by Jupiter on March 16th. I'm pretty sure that's a hell of a day for astrology, though. I'm pretty sure our strategy team was like, oh God, if we're still here, I loved you. It was good working with you. No, I'm kidding. But we really were. It's like, there's something heavy. There's some heavy dates in March. Not bad heavy, but just like, we don't know what will happen. It's just so unprecedented the way that things are set up. Even Saturn and Neptune at 0 degrees Aries right now. We cannot find that in 4,000 years. We cannot find that in 4,000 years looking back in the history of ephemeris. Hasn't happened. How can that not be? People are like, astrology is
40-something BC, I think was the last time. 43-something BC. The last time.
Maybe the idea that Christ would come at the first, I have no idea. But it's interesting. I think it just still feels played, though. It just feels so played. I feel like I'm being led down this like, here, kitty, kitty, there's aliens. I feel like
thing?
What's that? Yes, the whole time is
like a nothing burger. It feels like I agree. It's like a little dangling something, but it's like why would especially now, like they still haven't really found much about it. So just like, and they didn't really get anything much from it. But now it's by Jupiter. It's like okay, so. What does that mean? It's spaceship. I feel it's aircraft crap, like residue from something, and so, I agree. There's something that's not where it's a dangling carrot. That's how I feel about it.
Jupiter. We have the AI is amazing. I'll tell you right now. I don't fucking know anymore. We will not know whatever pictures come back. We won't know if they're real. We will not know. I mean, it's going to take a supercomputer for you to find out if it's real. We're at a point now where we have to go with our gut. We have to go with our gut because we will not know, y'all. That's a good moment for a quick little break. We'll be right back.
Scott Cruz is popularly known for his life-changing one-on-one readings to also guide in your soul ascension journey. With life readings, get insight into your relationships, career, health, trauma healings, past life regressions, and more. Want to connect with a loved one who's transitioned? Scott's mediumship session can be the gateway to you and your loved ones in spirit bridging the gap between the physical and the spiritual realm. If you want to enhance your own psychic ability, Scott's Intuition Builder session can help expand your psychic and mediumship abilities. So sign on to scottcruzpm.com to book your own personal session today.
I want to say too, like I just reading these headlines, I just feel stupid. I'm like, is this really what was going on in our world? Because like we're talking about like pedos, weird, stupid, insignificant, extraterrestrial shit, and and just kind of like AI. I mean, I just feel like I feel dumb about what's really going on in our world right now. It doesn't feel groundbreaking. It doesn't feel like progressive, even though I know we are progressing. It's like, oh, what are we talking about all the time? Like, where's the major change? Where's the revolution? And so it's happening, but it's just like we're in that stage right now. It's like I read these articles, I'm like, what more do I have to like really input to this? There's nothing really that deep about it. It's all right in front of us anyway. So I don't know. I just wanted to kind of say that
right.
when these headlines.
It's so honestly, I think we've been kept at such a kindergarten, 5th grade English reading level, like that we're still there. But I do say, y'all get in shape. It's about to pop like big time. You're about to be blown away, and I mean jaw-dropping, blown away year after year after year for the next 5 years at least. Promise you. You're just not going to believe it. You're just not going to believe it. And the more I feel into the future, I had a great session today with some of our practitioners talking about the moons on SiriusStar.com and in our private subscription, and we're getting really deep and honest and frank about it. But everyone on that stage was like, I feel nothing but like incredible joy around the corner, and that makes no sense because I don't see anything lined up for it. But we all unanimously do feel this joy. I feel like maybe we're going to be split. They'll be like, the cities will be burning and I'll be in the desert, like Burning Man. Burning Man is probably the beginning of a city right there. I wouldn't be surprised to be a city, say the Burning Man in the New World. I'll be the first city and state to incorporate.
Well, I mean, I've always been saying like this is the period where it is the breakdown, the breakthrough, and I've been saying for several years like systems will break down. It will be interesting to go through that process. It could be heavy, it could be scary for a lot of people who do a lot of these systems as crutches, or even these belief structures as crutches. So yeah, when it comes out that we've been duped or people have been duped, that's a difficult pill for a lot of people to swallow. And for people also to have to go through that as someone is swallowing that pill and acting erratic because they can't accept reality, it's gonna be difficult for people like us too to try to get them on board, but that's part of that process. Where beyond that is that freedom, beyond that is that evolution, beyond that is that expansion. So I feel like beyond all this we're going through, yeah, we feel good about that because this is where we fully evolve. This is where we fully kind of restructure things to where they need to be in the right place for us as a species. So yeah, I really said this is not Armageddon, even though it's like the tribulation phase before a revelation phase. So the revelation, of course, is where we resurrect and we have our eyes open. We see things clearly. We're resurrecting to 5D, right? Out of 3D. And that means we see things clearly and we're living in more of a realm that's less about density. Less about survival, right? And as I've always said before, I said, even when David was on the show before, I said, like, I feel AI is going to help us to evolve in that way. So yes, I really think we're getting that direction, but in the process of it, in the midst of this gray area that we have, yeah, it can be very annoying and heavy, but
I think we make no apologies and we just go for it. I'm now convinced, as if for myself, it's like, I'm just going to go build a new world. Bye guys. And I know a lot of us want to go do it, and we're just going to do it. I feel like, and I think about it, when America was discovered by, whatever, if it really happened with, Plymouth Rock and all that sort of thing that we're told, I'm not sure. But overall, all the intelligent people knew the earth was round. All the intelligent people knew that. And they're very excited about the idea. There's things they hadn't seen before. And they're very excited about how there's going to be a new world. People who are on their farms and stuff, no, their families didn't even get that memo for 2 more generations. Yeah, the world's not flat. It turns out we didn't fall over. We've got a nation over there, as a matter of fact. So I think we're in another one of those places where it's like the people who know are just going to go. They're not going to wait for the people who don't know. They're just going to why, right? And then let everyone else figure it out eventually. They'll figure it out, what's going to happen. I think that's where we're at. It's a chasm. And maybe it's how you have like separations in populations. It's like, some step away and never continue to evolve. So I have a little special video here I want to play out of thank you to one of our viewers, if we can post it here as we close up the show. This is someone we know as Truth and Fears.
Serious Joy has been a transformational force and a guiding light in my life. It's far more than astrology. It's a soul-centered journey that combines deep emotional coaching, spiritual insight, sound healing, and self-love in the most profound way. And through this membership, I've gained clarity on my life's purpose. I've learned to navigate my emotional patterns with compassion, and I've embraced a daily practice that keeps me grounded and it keeps me aligned. It has supported me through some of the most difficult transitions of my life and has helped me to evolve into a more empowered, self-aware, and spiritually connected version of myself. Serious Joy isn't just a service, it's a sacred space for awakening. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. What's that? But seriously, I was touched by that. It's because it's been so hard. A lot of criticism of people. And what's interesting is when people leave a teacher, a lot of times they have to criticize to go. It's like there's something that in them that has to I don't know, make it bad at the last minute, which is unfortunate. It's painful kind of experience. But I think this is also just pointing out what happens. We've healed a lot of people. We're proud of it.
Good. Yeah. I mean, for me, it's just all about me just knowing what my role is, for one, and understand what my role is, and what I feel the calling is for me to do. And I just show up. And if people rotate, people rotate. People don't like it, they don't like it. People love it, they love it. There's always, again, opinions are like assholes. We all have one and most of them stink. So who cares? But, the people that, I always say I like to spend time focusing on people that are putting love into me versus the people that aren't, because I'm too busy focusing on people that put love into me, and I'm too busy putting love into people that are also giving in return. So, I think, you want to surround yourself with people that you're making an impact for. And sometimes the thing is too, as teachers, this being a mentor and I've been doing it for a long time myself, that you start changing the type of people you need to reach. right?
Oh
And
yeah,
so
for sure.
sometimes
I see
it's like, now you just got to start reaching people that are more, not so high, floody-dotty head in the clouds. You got to go reach people now who are, your average Joe, people who are battling with addiction. People, you have to reach those people now. Like, so sometimes when you're in your mission, the platform changes of who you need to reach, and those who move on have to go and find other ways to evolve. And so, and I've noticed that in my work, the past 13 years, that, it's changed the scope of where I mentor, and so I allow that to be the process. But I feel like the people that need more mentoring are not the people in the spiritual communities, which I feel like sometimes they are need the most mentoring, but it's the people who need to be brought into spirituality. And, by talking about fluffy duffy stuff all the time isn't going to bring them in, So
I
perhaps
totally agree.
it's part of a shift for you too, in that way.
Well, truth is, if you want, we started at the beginning as kindergarten, soul garden, and we went all the way up to college, and to some degree, people now entering kindergarten for the first time. I think there's definitely a cycle of people just kind of growing up, just like, and people are ready when they're ready, and they get on the escalator. And Serious Joy is an escalator. We'll take you from here to step 11. We'll absolutely take you to step 11. We'll help you understand who you are on the inside, 100%. You'll end your fears, you'll end a lot of your silly stuff, and you'll feel strong and centered, just like she presented. We can do that for you. And it's just from our processes and our repeating and processes. And it's a way of life. It's a practice. As she said, it's a practice. But I also feel like, honestly, this is with everything, not just Serious Joy. There's a lot of endings happening, a lot of relationships ending and things like that. In the final hour, some people play dirty. And you're just like, damn, really? We could have just said goodbye. We didn't have to play dirty in the last, it's like, damn. And perhaps I had that coming. Maybe I, was the one being an asshole in the past life. So I just assumed that, if it happens, like, man, I must have been a real prick, or this or whatnot. But also I see is that certain fragile egos, it's like they have to make it bad because moving on for just the sake of moving on is just not too hard to do. It seems too hard. Didn't seem to be in the choices, Didn't see people burn bridges on their way out.
Yeah, well, I mean, also as a reflection of people don't understand that the chapters, and they wouldn't be with that toxic energy. They don't understand, I needed you for this period. Now I realize I'm on other things. Thank you for that. Thank you for that time. And you move on. Like, instead of like cursing and damning, and obviously they still have unresolved things that they're seeing within themselves. And so, I just feel like when people move on, they're evolved enough to move on to where they don't have to have that disdain. So
that's what I'm saying. Thank you for the
but that's self-love, right? That's what we're talking about when we talk about self-love a lot, and being your own best friend is like, you want to also make sure you're not putting situations in your life to where you have so much opposition, and you don't want to say, even though a chapter closes, and you do to yourself and saying, this has to be bad because the chapter's closed. How about the chapter could be great? If the relationship that ended, say, it taught me so much, it doesn't go on. I have to hate them. And so many people feel like they have to hate the person they divorced. You could still love them because you needed that. Now you're just closing that chapter. Like, do it in peace. Be your best friend by saying, these are good moments. I'm changing. They've changed. That's all good too.
Yeah. Feel free to write your own script to write your own life. You have every right to, and no one's going to stop you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So do it and be happy. If you can. I honestly feel like in a year from now, I think we're just going to feel so childish because we have just been playing these little reindeer games forever. And Parker Brothers is getting very boring now. I think the human race is ready to move on. And with that, we'll say we have a guest next week. So life is changing. Everything's evolving.
Should we fill in the little deets a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So we had such a great conversation with David Palmer. He's going to be joining us on a regular basis starting next Wednesday. So we're exciting because we feel like like the Knights are back united, united kind of thing. It felt like 3 nights that, I definitely
Unite
saw sitting by the fire, bitching about things. Yeah. Unite. Yeah. Unite. That's a good name.
Unite, instead of unite the light, you unite the Knights, K-N-I-N-G, K-N-I-G-T. Unite the Knights.
Well, that's true. We got to bring back those nights because at the end of the day, there's going to be some dark nights. I mean, and I think the people who are noble and true should stand up. But yeah. So it's going to be fun, but a lot of talk and a lot of fun stuff. So we look forward to it.
I look forward to people's opinions too. If they want to, if they be, enjoying to have a third, to have David Palmer as joining us as a regular third, or if they just like us 2, if they want 4, like we want the input, we want feedback. So give us feedback with kindness, with love, not with. So many people complain. Someone called me a sellout because we changed the time, and I'm like, oh my god, do we really need this heavy energy?
Who? Where's the money if I'm a sellout?
to
my
you,
God, I wish I
to
was-
Serious Joy, to you. Yeah.
Oh my
So I'm like, look, I made a compromise. This way, the show airs. We're not late. I made a compromise. So it's just like we don't need that
You guys,
that energy. You know what I mean? It's like it's a
VCR is
free
in the cloud.
show.
It's recorded for you every week like a VCR. It's in the cloud. You just watch when you want. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm
It's a free
grateful. I love that they want to watch and they want to watch. Well, we're going to go live on Saturday nights because that's going to be happening. We're recording in the middle of the week because that's when we have the time to do it as men who have lives, you know? So, and I will say this, the after hour show is amazing. And Serious Joy, one thing we're getting out of this is we're doing an after hour show. You have to be a subscriber to watch it. It's backstage, and the stuff that came out backstage is going to be stuff that we can't say on normal social media. So we're definitely plugging that. I think there's going to be a time where you've got to keep some conversations private, especially with AI. So
Agreed.
we'll be doing that. I agree. All right, friend.
All right, guys. So again, don't put up with a ship show. Lead out loud.
Read out loud with your heart. See you next week.
Good night, guys.
Opening. Yeah.
I felt very just cash today. I didn't really feel like going too deep. Just want to keep it simple today, you know. I feel like it's heavy. You just keep it simple. Simple conversation. Nothing overly philosophical today. I think
like
people need
on
to.
The beginning ride of Disneyland, we're like, okay, it's just because we're being shifted to a ride, actually.
It's the week to keep it simple, stupid, right?
It does, yeah. Like a push show. Yeah. It's your TV. We'll be right back.
I don't know if I have time for this one.
Doesn't look like a Devin or David.
David is his name. It's been so spot on.
And I don't know if you put it in the side of your end table. No, you like there's some in your end table that you this too.
We're crazy.
Yeah. I don't know if she's showing me flowers. Like relay them or redo them. These purple flowers.
Oh my God, Scott, the flowers are right there. My orchids are purple. They completely are dead.
Yeah.
Did you even know? You nailed everything, every single thing. Listen, everyone, this guy.
There needs to be a connection with like a Native American ancestry. And they're showing me a turquoise stone. Yes.
I just went to a Native American dance class and I wore this stone.
Tell me something that he told you that came true.
Everything he's predicted has come true.
I just don't see it.
Who doesn't have cancer?
It's very possible.
Camera's psychic who first questioned Brooke's cancer.
Scott Cruz.
Oh, there you won.
You better question yourself. We're here to bring enlightenment, not confusion.
You might encounter negative aspects of self, but that's a freeing experience.
Because then they start realizing that they can't think outside the box. And I say, if you can't think outside the box, then who's the stupid one here? We've all co-created this matrix. So if you don't like the matrix, that's you saying that you don't like your own reality, what you're creating for yourself. So we're all equal participants of the creation of this matrix. I don't just come on here and talk repeat I'm living it.
Step astrology is the key to unlocking your past, your purpose, and your heart. Are you ready to understand yourself better than ever before? Enlightened edutainment awaits inside the Serious Joy Vault. Subscribers receive in-depth insight into the planetary energies with daily texts, pep talks, and more, personalized to your unique blueprint. Subscribe now for only $3.99 your first month at SeriousJoy.com.
Serious Joy Academy would like to know, have you ever dreamed you were in another time and place, and it felt like home? Do you have talents and skills that you never earned or practiced? Do you wonder why you have feelings for an ordinary person that feels extraordinary? Have you experienced love at first sight? Are you haunted by irrational fears, such as a fear of heights, such as a fear of drowning? How many lives have you lived on Earth? 40 days of past lives and karma can help you unlock the memories deep within you. You could heal your deepest wounds, awaken past life talents, and unlock the true purpose of your life. Visit 40daysofpastlives.com and start discovering all the hidden treasures inside you.
If you're watching us on YouTube, please be kind and do subscribe to our YouTube channel at Serious Joy TV. Please click like on this video, and if you don't mind, hit the bell button so you're notified, so we collectively defeat the algorithm overlords. The Serious Joy Nonlinear TV Network is simulcasting right now on many media affiliates, including Instagram, X.com, and Facebook, just to name a few.